Am I ready to go live? StreamYard asks me. No, not at all. I'm not ready. Y'all, it's been too long. I haven't done a live stream in a minute. And so, like, everything's everywhere in the bus right now. I have my mic, which is good, but I don't have headphones in. I think it should be fine. I don't think we're going to have any audio issues. So I thought it would be good to do a stream today about our mental health and wellness. And I have a couple really great guests who are just on that same vibe and have a lot of really great, I think, tips and information when it comes to really just ensuring that as we go through these next weeks, especially these next couple weeks, that we're grounded enough to make wise decisions and that we are really ensuring that we are putting our health first, because our health is our greatest wealth, to be honest with you. You know, a lot of us are in the 5555 club, and in doing something like that, right, in burning our hex and what is it now, mining in mining our hex and holding it out for the future, we as a community have said, yes, we believe in this thing, we believe in this system, and we believe in it so much that we are willing to put our faith in something years into the future so that we are able to then reap those benefits at a later time. And in order to do so, y'all, we need to be alive. You know, you need to be you need to be well and doing well and having wellness abounding in your life in order to reap those benefits later on. So let me say what's up real quick to the guests. To the chat. See, it's been so long. I don't even know. I don't know who's who. I don't know what's going on. Oh my goodness. All right. We got Harmonic Hexakin up in the chat. Hey girl. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. Enjoying your content. I like your tweets. I like what you have to say lots of the time, Harmonic Hexakin. In fact, we should probably jam sometime. We should hang out and have a little chat. I think that would be fun. I think I've said that before also. I need to get on that. RH Max, good to see you, man. I am so grateful. If y'all didn't see it earlier today, Max released a really great SciVive summary. Like, there's a new document out that he put out that kind of summarizes all the chapters of SciVive. Really great. Check that out. If you haven't read SciVive yet, it's a really good, super digestible way to get the gist of a lot of what Richard has to say. So check out Max's tweet for that. And Max, if you want to link anything, you can send it my way and I will post that in the chat as well. Hexy's from heaven. Hello, good to see you. Don't know if I've seen your name in the chat before, but welcome. I'm going to say this right. Academaciated, right? I did it right. Yeah. Good to see you again. Always glad to have you in the chat. Fishing for shares. What is up, friend? Hey, come hang out. I need some help still. I'm calling you out on stream right now. But yeah, no, good to see you. Yeah, you've seen this plywood. You know what's up with this place. Hanging out in the bus today for sure. Good stuff. I actually just spray painted. Let me see if they're close to me. They are. Hold on. Wait for it. Okay, so I'm going to put these super cute sparkly gold, they're like soundproofing panels. So that, like, next time you see me, hopefully I'll have these kind of up and around. And I'm trying to turn this space into more like a cute little studio space. So I glittered things. Look at me doing stuff. Anyways, what is up? Excellent choice. Good to see you again. Looking forward to working with you some more in the future. I don't think I've put out, no, I haven't. Excellent choice, for those who don't know, is a badass and does really great work in terms of building things and helped me a bit in this bus, made some things look really nice. I have these really nice, look at these corners. Look at that. Look at how nice and smooth that is. Thank you, excellent choice. You did that. appreciate it. So we're going to do some more work together soon on that. DJ Pollywood, was up, dude? So if you all don't know yet, I think it's somewhere. I don't know if you can see my name. But anyways, I am going on tour with RG3. I am the tour, basically. This bus is going all around the United States in order to promote PulseChain, to promote Richard's ecosystem, to get people onboarded into DeFi. So super exciting, and I'm super glad to have my brothers, DJ Pollywood and Some Hexakin, are going to be caravanning with me most of the way. If you are in California, Portland, if you're in Oregon, California, or Washington, probably like more like California or Oregon, we'll be kind of caravanning up through the Pacific Northwest. So get a hold of me. Let me know if you're interested in caravanning with us. It is going to be a grand old time. We'll be doing mostly overlanding. So if you're not familiar with that term, it just means basically living off the land wherever we can. A lot of times for me, that means Walmart parking lots, Cavellas, like places, big places like that allow you to just kind of park overnight and keep your camper there and things like that. So that's what we're going to be doing. So yeah, hit me up if you're interested in any of that. Yes, it will look awesome. Just talking about my glitter things. They're so cute. Yeah. JB, what's up? Good to see you. All right, cool. So that's what's up in the chat. Y'all make sure to share this out, comment, like, subscribe, do all the things that Rags to Riches tells you not to do, because I'm not him. All right, well, both of my guests are here, and we have a really, I'm really excited because especially Sandra and I have spoken a lot about just different healing techniques. She and I have been on streams together before, so I'm a little bit familiar with her work. Nate and I have also streamed together at least once, and I know that, and this was kind of like just a surprise earlier today. I was like, hey, Nate, come hang out and do this thing with us. But, and I got to ask him about his background a little bit, but I love his tweets, honestly. Like, so I'll link. Oh no, it's in the description already. You can see his Twitter handle. It's Entombed Spirit. It's changed a couple times. He was Nate Stakes once, and then he was Nate Mintz. You know, hey, that's how we do, right? I mean, I don't have a phoenix on my hip for no reason. We go through changing and becoming new people over and over again in this life. So, very excited to have both my guests here, and I'm going to bring them up right now. What is up, Bambi Stone? Just say hello to one more person in the chat. Good to see y'all. Thank you for tuning in. And also, as you're watching and as we're talking about these things, I did want this to be kind of an AMA. So if you are curious as to different techniques to use to bring some mental clarity, different ways to calm yourself, to calm your nerves, I've got a couple things that I actually want to share myself. In terms of things that have helped me recently. I actually struggle with separation anxiety, and I've learned recently, not learned, but I've discovered or uncovered recently that a lot of that is due to having been adopted at birth and not ever having really like dealt with that. I've lived a lot of my life in this very positive light and very much just like, you know, almost Pollyanna, but not really. You know, I know that things get difficult and there's struggles and there's trials and tribulations, but I don't think I ever really sat down and dealt with the fact that I was given up by my birth mom, you know, and that as a child, that's a big trauma to have to go through. So all that being said, we're going to talk about ways to, you know, go through and heal the things that maybe have traumatized us in the past. And in addition to that, talk about techniques in order to move forward in life and be sure that we are calm and collected as we're making these decisions. Because y'all, PulseChain is here. Richard said right around the corner. Where's that corner, Richard? Where's the corner? I'm excited. All right, so without further ado, this is Nate.
Hey.
Good to see you. And here we go. Sandra.
Hi, everyone.
Yay, my wonderful, lovely guests. So as I was doing the intro, Nate, I just thought about this. You know, I see a lot of your tweets. You have a lot of really positive, wonderful, helpful things to say. But where where do you come from? Like what, how did you start kind of down that path into like mental wellness and sharing positivity and things like that? So I know a little bit about Sandra, and we'll talk about her in a moment, but I just wanted to kind of get clarity on your background a little bit with that.
Yeah, I just think it's a part of natural growth when you allow yourself to be open-minded. And life is tough and everybody has a different journey and nobody can walk in each other's shoes. And so that makes my journey no different, right? And I essentially so I was raised by a single parent and I had a dysfunctional upbringing. And so through like those kind of struggles kind of allowed me to create my own path and choose to take the good and leave the bad from one of my parents and stuff like that. So as that has evolved over time, I'm in physical therapy, I'm in healthcare, and that involves an extreme ordeal of mental strength to overcome injuries and healing and stuff like that, especially with surgeries or chronic pain. So it's a combination of that, and then just different. I've always seeked mentorship and looking for people who are either smarter in a different subject or have different outlooks, and try to grow and just kind of improve my well-being overall. Because I have often gone through the like highs and lows of being really. I used to have a problem with getting really, really high up, really positive, and then crashing really hard, really low, and then fluctuating through these ebbs and flows of emotions. And so being I'm 28, I turned 29 at the end of this year. So growing into my 30s, I've been able to like learn how to tame my emotions better, and it allows me to make better sound decisions for myself. And then therefore better outcomes come from that. And I think it's also just a part of, so like the personal journey of like growing up and stuff, and then also who you surround yourself with. So it's like a combination of these things that have allowed me to kind of land in this place that I'm at. And I continue to try to grow and learn from that and push forward, so every day is a new day for me. I try to take it one day at a time and not get too ahead of myself. And it's hard because things are euphoric, like PulseChain, for example, is very euphoric, and it is super exciting. But I have to also remind myself, okay, well, this is just the beginning. It also is just the start of things. Even though we've been waiting this long with Hex, it allowed me to have this long-term mindset. And so I don't know. We'll see how it pans out, right? Nobody has a globe, or how it's going to really go. But if it does anything and it has a big pump, people are going to be super happy. But then there's corrections, and so how do you handle when something would dump off 60 to 90%, whatever it may be? These are things I'm already thinking about ahead of time and trying to prepare myself for any circumstance and just be ready.
Awesome, excellent. Thank you so much for sharing. And Sandra, I'll go ahead and let you talk a little bit about yourself and your background for those that don't know yet.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me here. And it's nice to meet you, Nate. And both of you have similar stories. I think a lot of us, trauma is a part of life, and we all have different traumas, but it's a matter of how resilient we are to the trauma. And some of us are just more resilient to others, but we can learn resilience, and we can learn to have post-traumatic growth and not be stuck in a freeze state by our nervous system. Historically, I've been a holistic health educator and focusing on the nervous system, personal trainer, Pilates, all of that. And I sustained a spinal cord injury, which switched me over to dealing with chronic pain and trauma. And along the way, I uncovered some really amazing tools and techniques and understandings that have really helped me. And so I just want to share a little bit of that with you today, because not only have we all been traumatized for the past few years on top of all of our stress that we were undergoing, but now with this long-awaited launch, it's like nobody knows. Everybody's nervous system is activating, and we're all freaking out, fight, flight, and freeze. And that's where we push the wrong buttons, and that's when we get wrecked. And so we all have a gift to share with the community. And I just wanted to share one of the kernels of the trainings that I have that I think are so valuable in terms of understanding our physiology. And that the fact is, our nervous system runs our physiology. So if I wake up in the morning and I'm already in fight or flight or activated state, then my day is going to go different than if I do something to calm myself and start the day from there. And the main thing I like people to understand is that our nervous system is so highly evolved. We're so fortunate, and it's what allowed our species to survive. But the way that it has done it over the who knows how long is that it's all about safety. It's all about safe and not safe. And so it's almost like we're at least two different people, right? So it's like, and our nervous system does have two main branches. So we're one person when our nervous system feels safe, and we're another when we're sensing danger or a threat to our life. And it's beautiful because we can actually section off parts and maintain what's critical in terms of moving forward. And what happens is that when we activate, there's a split between our feelings and our thoughts. And we get in our thoughts, and our thoughts start running the show, and we think we're right, and we think we know, and we think all these things that may or may not have to do with reality. And if we are able to come back into internal coherence of our heart and our brain, then we're whole again, and we are in that safe zone. We can get back in that safe zone and function like we know we can. So we may not be able to do anything about, being adopted or a dysfunctional family. I mean, I've got my stories too, but it's like, putting the fun in dysfunctional, and oh my gosh, someone, whatever our path is, we've made it this far. And imagine if it weren't for Richard Hart right now, where we would all be. It's like, what a sigh of relief. So we have to take charge of our thoughts. Right? Like, I mean, we could be freaking out right now, or we could go, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. I am as best positioned as I could be right now. And so I want to show you this. This is one thing I teach my clients. So being resilient, having a resilient nervous system means that I can handle some stress without activating up into fight, flight, or freeze. So if water was stress and the container was resilience, I might not be able to do much about the level of stress in my life, and I'm this far from overwhelm. So the littlest thing can set me off, which is why we're seeing Karens and toxic masculinity and all these things, because, I mean, humans are wonderful, but our nervous systems are all on overload. So we can, however, create a larger container for our stress and be more resilient and have more room before we go into overwhelm. So I wanted to share with you a few basic things that you can do all by yourself whenever you want that really hack the nervous system back down to where there's internal coherence. One of my certifications is from the Heart Math, and you can find nowadays, I've been doing this for 10 years, and I just love seeing people like Greg Braden and Joe Dispenza and all these other people teaching this to the masses. And so what we're involved in is an intelligence test, and we have to stay intelligent and connected to our heart through this so that we go to the moon, right? So right now, I think one of the first steps that we need to learn is that we might activate out of that safety. It's not cognitive. We don't even realize it. But there are signs that our nervous system gives us, like repetitive thoughts or a wash of cold or different things. So learning about your own nervous system, unique cues, is really important. And practicing these things so that you can get a sense of, aha, I'm starting to activate. Let me try this. So the first one I'm going to show you is the Heart Math Internal Coherence. And basically, I like to have people sit with a nice tall spine, inhaling in through your nose, nice big belly on the inhale, big rib cage on the inhale, and on the exhale, let the rib cage come down and the belly go in. There has to be some movement in there. We might be kind of locked because of our trauma, but it will open with time, so keep practicing. So while you're breathing this way, put your hand on your heart, and imagine you're inhaling light into your heart. and you're exhaling that light out into the field. Because, you know, I'm going to keep talking. Our thoughts are not in our brain, they're in the field. So you don't have to own them. You, like a cloud passing by, you go, okay, great. Yeah, nice judgment. Bye. I'm staying here in my heart. And so while you're breathing that way, remember a positive feeling or emotion or gratitude or caring, something that you can remember feeling while you're breathing this way. Could be someone you love, could be your dog, could be something that you created or from your past. And keep breathing this way, inhaling through your nose with a big belly and big rib cage, and exhaling down, letting it all out. Do this for as little as 6 breath cycles or as long as you want, and as frequently as you want. And some people even say inhale the light into your heart and bring it back out through your third eye. So there's different variations on this theme, but staying connected neurally is the root of what's going to save people from getting wrecked and to be more resilient to the stress in our life. So we can all be present, because we must be present to win. I'm complete.
Yes. And I love that the addition of the thought, like the recollection, because when we recall the memory into our minds, that feeling, we feel that feeling. Our minds are so powerful, and I think we forget how powerful the recollection of an emotion can be. And that practice, I don't know if you're going to share, there's another one that you shared with me, and I for the last, like, I haven't done it in the last like 2 days, I don't think, but for definitely at least 3 or 4 days in a row, I was doing.
Oh, that's such a great one. Want me to share that one?
I would love that, because this y'all, like, and the important part of this is to do it more than one day, to do it more than, you know, you're seeing us do this right now. Try to remember tomorrow, maybe set yourself a little alarm, or just if you have a moment of panic or anxiety. That's what happened to me, is that I was going through an anxious like spell, and for a few days, every now and then, if I started feeling anxious, I would just remember, and it's there's more to it, but I just, like, I would settle here. And for me, touch is huge. Touch is my love language. It is, for me, a huge thing. And again, going back to my trauma and having been adopted, not having the touch of my birth mother for my life, you know, like, I think that that's part of the reason why I'm so drawn to it, and why touch is such a huge thing for me. So self-touch, right? Like, to be able to yeah, hold myself and love myself and, like, hug myself. I have a friend of mine in Puerto Rico who was relaying a story to me one day about how he went through a breakup, I think. And at the end of the, you know, he went through some, you know, some trauma and through some healing with that. And I don't remember where he got this practice from, but he shared it with me. He said, every morning when I wake up, I hug myself. I just give myself a big hug. And that really stuck with me, because I was like, you know what, I can do that. I can hug myself, like, you know, and that's something that I've added to my morning routine. You mentioned something earlier, Sandra, about starting your day, right, in a positive light, in a positive manner. And something that I've said for years and years now is that one thing I love to share with people, if there's just one thing I can say, hey, like, try this practice, is when you open your eyes in the morning. You don't even have to open your eyes. When you become cognizant in the morning, when you wake up, smile. Just smile, whether you feel like it or not. Your day is just beginning. If you can just put a smile on your face first thing, I mean, it lights up my whole day, just thinking, yes, here I am, I'm alive, I'm awake. And then the smiles, for me, a lot of times the smile would lead into gratitude. It'll lead into other things. And then I go about my day. So anyways,
yeah, thank you. Yeah, it shifts our neurology back into serotonin and dopamine, instead of starting the day in cortisol and adrenaline. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah. You know, whatever your practice is, it is really important, I think, to start the day that way, because if we, like, maybe take 10 deep breaths thinking of things that you're grateful for, and some people, if you can meditate, that's wonderful. But if your nervous system's activated and you can't meditate, it doesn't mean something's wrong with you or you failed. It just means there's some other things you need to work on first to get yourself in feeling safe, to get your nervous system understanding safety. So let's do the butterfly. So just put your hands up if you want to participate in this, and then flip them. Cross them over and lock your thumbs. And then let your fingertips rest right below your clavicles and alternate tapping one side and the other. And you can do this as slow or fast, or hard or soft as you want, for as long as you want. But there's something about crossing the midline and touching and this whole practice that really does help the nervous system back down. And if you're doing it somewhere where you don't want people to see your hands, you can do it on your thighs.
Oh, nice. I didn't care. I was
Yeah.
I think I was in the gym at one point. I was actually walking on the treadmill in the gym, and like all of a sudden I just got this like wave of anxiety come over me, and I just kept walking, and I put my hands up here.
Good.
And I think to me in a way it almost like mimics a heartbeat. You know? Like I feel like almost my little kitty cat, she's right here behind me down here purring, but she's medicine to me too. That kitty cat purr for the last few nights, actually, she's been resting on my chest while I go to sleep. I'm like, yes, baby, yes, lay right there. I love it. I love it.
They know.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so practicing these things on a daily basis when you don't need them helps them to become embodied, so that when you do need them, you go, aha, wait a minute, I need to just pause and take a deep breath.
Yes.
And then you can start thinking and go, wait a minute, what else can I do? And then you can either do, something like this, or just some deep breaths, or the internal coherence. I mean, I've got a slew of them, but understanding that there's nothing wrong with you, and to not be looking out there for a pill or an addiction or a solution or procedure, but switch that whole direction inside, because that's where the light's coming from, and that's how we get to be radiant.
Yes.
Thank you.
100%. And how, it just, I'm dumbfounded sometimes at how simple it is.
Yeah.
How simple these solutions are. I mean, just breathe, y'all. It feels, I don't know what the word is, almost trivial. I don't know if that's the right word, but it seems like something that's so, that's too easy. Right? No, like if you just take that time out, you feel your brain racing, you're going 1,000,000 miles a minute up here, and you start to get overwhelmed because this affects this, right? Like your mental state is going to affect your body. And every time I catch myself, I realize, oh, my shoulders are tense. Yeah. Oh, my jaw is clenched. Right. Oh, and there's all these
feeling again.
Exactly. Yeah. So breathing into that and really just taking that time out to recognize, hey, I can, and this again, y'all, PulseChain is coming, and people are going to FOMO, and like things are going to be nuts. Right. It's going to be crazy for a little while. And that's why we're here, to help not crazy, to help with the non-crazy.
Right. So, you can just be a spectator and watch the whole show and wait and see what happens for a while before we do anything. So we know, because pushing one button and getting wrecked is like, there's no one that can help you. Yeah.
And again, I mean, people have been saying this for months, and I'm guilty of I haven't done that much on testnet. I've connected to it. I've pushed a few buttons. I should do more today. As a matter of fact, when I'm done with this, I might jump on and do a few things. But get yourself familiar with the system so that you don't panic and press the wrong thing, send something to the wrong address, or miss a decimal or a comma or something like that, right? Like there are so many little things that can go wrong. Really, just part of what I wanted to bring to the table today was remember to take a breath before you do anything. Remember to just slow down. It's not going to go away. Like this all this capitulation, all this stuff is going to be happening for weeks. and
Right.
things are going to be nuts. So just remember
Also,
to be present.
also remember that if you take a break, a 5-minute walk bathes your brain in fresh blood. So, if you
I know
can do
that.
meditation,
5 minutes.
great. Yeah, just go for a 5-minute walk every hour.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love walking in general. I've that's always been something for me that's been very healing. Until I met you and had, a little bit more like hands-on exercises and things to do, that was my go-to. Was if I'm feeling stressed, if I'm like spinning my wheels and I can't figure out, what to do and I'm just kind of like going in circles mentally, get outside and go for a walk. And another huge thing that is it's always good to remind people of for me is grounding. Take your socks and shoes off. Go put your, people think, oh, that's silly, or, and there's nothing to it or whatever. Do it though. Try it.
Feels
Like
good.
legit. Yeah. Go put your feet on the earth and feel the magnetism of that ground beneath you. The earth is here, and that's another thing. The earth is here to support you. That's one big thing, that aside from just the feeling of grounding and feeling the magnetism of the earth, is the reminder that you're not alone. Even if you're by yourself, you're not alone and you are supported. And that's, again, why I wanted to bring, specifically these guests on to talk about this kind of stuff, because we are a huge community. We are worldwide, and there are a lot of us that live solo and are just, connected via the internet. So it's important that we remind one another, hey, I'm here. I'm here with you. Like we're going through this together. Don't feel like you are out there alone, because you're not. So I want to pass it over to Nate for a little bit and just have you share a few things about, what it is that you do if you're feeling anxious, or and remind me, did you go through the whole Hex original cycle? Like, are you a Hex OG? Did you go through that
No.
whole thing, or like crypto? When did you get into crypto, and is this like your first bull bear market kind of deal?
This is my first big bear. Yeah, I went through the
Okay.
2021 bull cycle, but not with Hex. I was doing kind of degenerate stuff, messing with like a bunch of NFTs and trading and stuff that got me wrecked, and not taking profit when I should have, and in my euphoric state, and inexperienced. And then rode the wave down here. I've learned a lot of things throughout this entire bear market, just from observation and seeing how people's mental state, funny that we're talking about it, has altered and changed through the bear market and stuff like that. And how with this PulseChain launch, things are coming back and people are starting to reappear. So that's a positive thing. I think you guys both nailed it on the head, especially Sandra. The breathing, diaphragmatic breathing is huge in my life. And anytime you have to like deal with stress, I often tell my patients to in with the good, out with the bad. And that's part of your breathing cycle. And it really can really make a massive difference. And you kind of start to get into nature and stuff. That's another big aspect that I think is extremely important and undervalued, that you need to step away from all the electronics online, and really just be away from that. So that means, go outside, ground yourself, take a walk, but just totally separate yourself from any kind of device. I mean, technology and stuff is like fairly new in the concept of human, like this digital stuff in humans, for all the centuries that we haven't had it. And then now that we have it and we get instant information and instant
Right.
gratification, and everything kind of getting thrown in your face, it can be a lot. And that could be the hopium and the cope, and then all the different capitulations and stuff that you mentioned. And it could really mess with your brain if you're not mentally fit and you're in a high stress situation. That you can allow it to really enter your thoughts and poison them, rather than just taking a breath, step away, utilizing all these tools, and grounding yourself and finding yourself in a better place, than returning back to, like you said, PulseChain and stuff. Once it launches, it's not going to be going anywhere. It's going to be up. It's going to be running. We know that holders and founders are the ones that make the most money. So most people shouldn't have the mindset of trying to get rich quick. And that if we sit on these 4-year cycles, we have the Bitcoin halving in the early 2024. So we still have time, right? We have time to accumulate. We have time to grow. We have time to continue to learn throughout this whole year, even with PulseChain launching. And so those are some really solid advices. I really appreciate you guys bringing those up. I think that's amazing. Physical activity in general is something that I turn towards. So And it doesn't mean you have to lift like crazy weights and but just doing simple stuff, moving your body around, squat, do some push-ups, and just stretch, yoga, get the blood flowing, and that allows stress to be mitigated, and it goes into a positive way for you. And you also can you know drain the negativity with fatigue and you can
Mhm.
get better night's rest. And sleeping is super underrated. So when you sleep really good, you have better thoughts, you have better energy, you have more clarity. But if you're in a deprived state of sleep, your stress levels and everything, the cortisone, everything's way higher, and you don't know how to handle stress and situations that well. So you're just a little bit more agitated, you snap quicker, stuff like that. But if you're able to disperse your energy in a positive way. Maybe it's not just doing squats. Maybe it's like, maybe you like, I don't know, go into some type of recreational activity, volleyball, any type of club activity or a social setting where you feel like you're getting your energy out. That is actually extremely helpful. And it's also stepping away from the digital aspect. So finding community outside of the internet is really important in my eyes. So that's why I believe in family and structures and friends and trying to bond and bring each other up all around you. Like I know all my neighbors' names and stuff like that. So, and I think that's a lost thing in today's society. And I think it's important that if you do have people around you to connect and, sometimes you'll hear someone going through something and it kind of will also relieve your situation and your stress. And like, oh, I got it pretty good. And you could have a form of gratitude about your life and the place that you're at. And that it's a beautiful opportunity that what we have presented right here in front of us. And, like I said, it's only the beginning. And so, yeah, those are some of the simple things that I like to do. I'm a big proponent, even though I'm not the best at it at times, is communicating. So if you are going through a really tough time, to not hold things in and build resentment or frustration or anger. I think it's
Right.
healthier to um, talk about it and get it out with someone that you trust and that that's not going to judge you, and that's really going to just be there. And if you're not, like you said, if you don't have someone like that, like you said, our community is so large, and I've seen an abundance amount of people that will
Reach
lend their
out.
ear and their shoulder for you. Even though it's digitally, it'll still help and it'll go a long way. So it's out there. Your voice will be heard. It just it takes the courage to step up and do that. And so that's kind of just my approach and all this. So it's life is a mental game, right? And we're constantly learning. I don't think you ever stop growing until the day that we pass away. And I think it's something that if you allow yourself to be open-minded and have an open heart, you can really grow. We are energy, right? We are the nervous system. That is what we are. We are a flow of energy, and your
Mhm.
heart radiates positivity, which is infectious in a positive way and can contribute to um, a better society as a whole. And
Mhm.
people can look, you could tell when someone walks into a room if they're really upset or something's bothering them just from body language without someone saying something. And that speaks about energy, and it speaks about how connected you are to just everyone in general and your own self and your own soul. And that good positive person that walks in that seems like there's nothing going wrong with their life and they're just super happy and giddy is a very positive impact for people who are seeking that kind of love and community and that power. It's just magnetic in a sense. And that's the stuff I gravitate to. So I gravitate towards people that are in that kind of state of mind, and just positive people and doers. And I think action is also a key component to all this. Talking is one thing, but if you're not willing to take the action, put down some of the pride, swallow some of the stuff that is hard and a heavy burden, then you're not going to be able to grow. But it's
Mm.
just taking that first step, and once you do, the next one's easier, and you just keep building a staircase for yourself. And at the end of the day, you might slip down 5, but you'll go up 50. And
Right.
it's just, this is the cycle, right? This is life, and that's what makes it so beautiful. The human experience, life itself is just a blessing, right? Let alone crypto and financial freedom. I think that just being here in this moment and being alive during a financial revolution is a gift in itself, and then allowing us to have these digital conversations that'll be archived forever, and future generations to feed off of that, and so forth. Yeah, so that's just kind of how I look at it right now.
Beautiful. Beautifully said, Nate. Thank you so much. I just wanted to interject a little thing in there. In the same way that when we're radiating from our heart, that energy that reaches out, in the same way that the positive is contagious to others, the negative is too. So avoid
Mhm.
negative people, avoid people who are really afraid, especially right now. Like, protect yourself. If somebody's really jacked up and in a negative place, it's nice to be able to help them, but sometimes there's nothing you can do. And right now, it's really about self-preservation, and you don't need that negativity.
Yeah.
Ain't no one got
absolutely.
time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. No. No, that's a great point. And my mic is doing weird things. Okay. So yeah, no, that's a super great point, and something that I have definitely had to learn over the years, because I can be, I wouldn't say necessarily that I'm a people pleaser, but I do love people. I enjoy being around people, and at times I've noticed that I'll allow too much negative, or like, whatever it is that they're going through, I'll be like, oh, but I'm being there for them and I'm helping, and then, but at
And
the
you're
end of
drowning
it,
too.
yeah, that's my energy is precious, and my
Yeah.
time is precious, and I cannot afford to give that to someone who's just going to take and take and take.
Right.
So I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to run through and say hi to more people in the chat real quick. And then we have, I don't know if it's going to work out or not, because it looks like his camera and his mic is frozen. I invited one more guest to come up. His name's William. And I think that I met him through Lindsay the Hexagon. I'm pretty sure that's where he and I first kind of met one another. He's also a healer. He did a remote Reiki session for me a while back, and that was really cool. That was my second Reiki session ever, and first time ever doing it remote, and that was a really neat experience. So I'm going to bring him up in a moment, but before I do that, I just want to say hi to everybody else that's come in today. I don't know. Let's see where we ended here. So his Hexies from Heaven is his handle, and I hadn't seen it before, and then it just everything clicked. So. What's up, Bambi Stone? Good to see you. Scott O'Shaughnessy. I hope I said that right. What's up, Scott? Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. David Lee, thank you so much for tuning in. I don't know if you're still listening, but thanks for coming by. Always good to see your name around. DJ Cryptomatic has appeared. I showed that earlier. He's stealing my thunder over there, DJ Cryptomatic. I'm just kidding. You're the best. Really good to see you. Robert Keeler, man, Robert's the dude. He helped me out with my electrical setup. Always there for me if I ever have a question about things, going wrong with this bus. So, God, I love this community. Moondog, what is up, man? Good to see you. So glad to see your name around here. Muse Bandit, good to see you. I don't think I've seen your name before, but lovely to have you here. Kel L. Who else we got in here? And that, I think, is it. So without further ado, let me bring up William. Hey, William, your mic is muted. I'm going to bring you up now. And if you want to go ahead and remove your mutes, hopefully this will work. But what's up, Jay? I see Jay Everything. Good to see you. Good to see you there. Hi, William. Your mic is muted, buddy. So try and unmute your mic, and you can give yourself a little intro. There you go.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yay! Well, welcome. Tell the folks around these parts what you're up to, and I'm gonna do some comments.
I'm at my old golf course right now. They're gonna demolish it pretty soon. So it's one of the oldest courses in North America too. So it's a little sad to say the least. But yeah, nice to see Nate. We talk on Facebook. I've never face to face with you, so that's really nice. And I didn't even want to come and do this. I have like so much anxiety. I can't breathe when I try to public speak. It's starting now, so when it does, if I stop speaking, just like that, it just means that I'm trying to catch my breath. So anyways, I'll give you the 60-second rundown of myself. I had a tumor and bone infection 16 years ago. I was 2 surgeries. I was healed one night with an orb that...
Wow.
Here, hold on. See, it's starting to happen now, the panic attack.
I can walk you through it if you like.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
It's just this kind of stuff I don't share with 90% of the people I know, so it's just a little tough.
It's a very powerful story. Take your time. Take your time. We're here.
Yep. I'm grateful for you.
So anyways, I was healed. I went back to the doctor. He said the bone regrew back in. And what come along with that night was gifts of translucent flashes. Spirits come through. And the ability for Reiki, remote healing. Hex come as a result of translucent flash. Anyways, about 5 years ago, there's so much in between, I'm just trying to speed this out. About 5 years ago,
where you're at, your mic is picking up a lot of the wind, so I'm hearing more wind.
Let me just move down here if I can. Sorry.
That's better.
Yeah, that's much better.
I'll try to use my mic too. Gotcha. I apologize for this. This is like the third time I've tried to talk about this kind of stuff and I butcher it every time. So just bear with me. I'm just coming down the hill a bit. That might help. And like SJ was going to talk about, I'm going to do a little grounding right here on the spot. And that actually might calm me a little bit. All right. Yeah. So anyways,
Can't hear you.
Yeah, I can't hear you now. Yeah, those earpods.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better.
No.
Hold on.
Slightly. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. The wrong button. See, we all
wrong
push the wrong button.
Yeah, this always happens. I've done that to myself. Yeah, no, just real cool, dude. We've spoken a little bit over the last couple of days, and I thought it'd be good. It's so beautiful to me how many different types of personalities there are within Hex. Like, I mean, we come from all over the place, right? All over the world, all different. And that's one of the most beautiful things to me is that as we continue to grow, that's just going to keep happening, right? We're going to start having more people from all these different walks of life who have all these different kinds of experiences and all these different tools so that we can help one another, along the way. And that, to me, that's why I do the show that I do, or that I haven't done it in a few weeks, but Nate was a guest before. In fact, Sandra, when I'm up there and hanging out with you in person, I'd love to have you on my show doing the Building Hexaco show.
Awesome.
Because my goal is to do it live with everyone now instead of doing like a studio.
Oh,
so
good.
yeah. So we'll do that when I'm up there. And then I was gonna have my goal. I was hoping to have Georgia Carrera today because she and I are in the same area right now, but. Just timing wise, it didn't work out. So I might actually just do the show tomorrow instead of doing it on a Friday. I'll just like mix it up and just.
I'm honored to be the first stop on your tour.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, it's gonna be excellent. Like we've talked, like I can't imagine anything better in terms of like the location and like where I get to be. I keep talking about how all I want to do is just like disappear into the moss of the forest floor and just like become one with the redwoods and the sequoias.
Right. This is one of
magical.
the only places where the redwoods come down to the ocean.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, that is amazing. What's up, Tony Cove? Hello. Good to see you. Always welcome my show. You welcome my show all day long. All right. Well, let's bring William up one more time. And let's see. Hold on one second, actually. Let's see. Nate, give me a good quote. Give me some good quotes to fill the space for a second here.
Let's send him love while he's trying to get back.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have any direct quotes off the top of my mind, but in general, I think that This has been a really healthy discussion. I think it's really good. I think a lot of people can resonate and look for stuff like this. And I think that it's powerful to hear these perspectives and experience from people so that other people know that they're not alone and they have options out there, and that there's solutions to our stress.
There he
Hey,
is.
hey, let's go.
Yeah. All
He's
right.
back.
Can you hear me?
Hey.
Is that the question? Can you hear me?
Yes. Oh,
We
yes. I
can.
can hear you great now. Yeah.
Okay. I apologize.
And
I think I got my panic under control a little bit.
No
So yeah,
worries.
anyways, after the healing, I was left with translucent flashes, spirits come through at night. And the ability to heal, whatever I heal, it's like the circulation in my hands cut off, and it's all just like pins and needles, red and white. Anyways, 5 years ago, I separated with my ex, and I didn't want to do, the normal traditional society life. So I just continued. What I did was making tables. I lived in the shop. Didn't get paid all the time on time, so things were really tough. And sometimes I had to go to the church for food. I had to go to the bakery sometimes and dig through my car to get a couple buns. Anyways, right then and there, actually, then I met my friend Sarah, who taught me about Reiki and remote healing. So I did a session for her, and she said it was way better than any of the people that she's tried in the past. She was trying to get me to start a website to make it a business. I just didn't feel comfortable doing that. So then and there, I made a deal with the universe. If you can ease my financial struggle, I would heal for free. And then fast forward a year later, I had the translucent flash of hex, and that's been about 3 years ish.
Ooh, I'm getting
So-
chills.
And yeah, so now I'm sitting here with some hex, staked hex, some bags of PLS and PLSX, and I started the free healing a while back. Like I was showing the universe, I'm serious. So I know the universe is serious now with the release of PulseChain. So
Yeah.
yeah, I feel more
what-
grounded now that I'm sitting here.
Good. Awesome.
Yeah.
And we're gonna wrap up probably in about a few minutes here, but
Yeah, that's all good.
yeah, thanks for sharing your story. I'm glad you got to come up and hang out for a minute. And then what's the best way for if anyone wants to get in contact with you or find out a little bit more about the kind of healing work that you do? What's the best way for us to do that?
Like I said, I do this all for free. Just I base it on moments in time. So that's why I'm here tonight too, because I typed in there in the chat for both of you. Because you too, SJ, if you want another one. But yeah, you're welcome to remote healing. And
Thank
yeah, if SJ can hook that up, but for regular
Got
people,
you.
like
Okay.
I don't charge or anything like that. So it'd be kind of hard to get bombarded with, 80
Yeah.
requests.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll just say if anyone's interested in that, just reach out. You can reach out to me, and I'll make that connection happen because I know it's a very specific and special type of like mode of healing, right? Like not a lot of people are open to it. Not a lot of people understand it. But it is to me, it's definitely real, and I really enjoy the what's the word I'm looking for? The ripples, right? Because it's not, to me, that this kind of healing is not a cure-all right at that moment, right? But you feel the ripple effects as you continue to go on through life, and that seems to be kind of either a theme for me. I don't know if everybody else experiences this, but through like shamanic healing, I have a woman who's like a shaman in my life, and I'll never forget, man. I went through like a spirit walk with her. We spent, I think, 3 days together, and one day we went like out and barefoot walked through this trail up into Panga Canyon. It was beautiful and crazy and awesome, and there was a snake involved, and I'll tell that story someday. And then I think the next day we did something else, maybe like in the like more in the forest by a river. And then the last day we actually went to like a Korean spa, and we did a lot of like mental work where I would be doing the spa like in the, you could like get down in the salt and things like that. And you can also like there's different like things that you can just kind of go into, and like she would walk me through mentally different paths to kind of healing, right? And this was one of the first times that I experienced that kind of healing. And I was actually like, I had come to her because I had a physical ailment, and there was something physically going on with me. And, you know, I look back in hindsight, you know, and I think I had felt I had felt taken from it. Like it was someone that I knew, like I've known her in the past, you know, but like when she told me how much, like, you know, to pay her, a little part of me was like, you know, like, I don't know if this was worth that, you know? But I paid it, you know, lovingly. And I was like, hey, you know, just thank you for taking your time to, you know, walk me through when we went through. And it didn't happen overnight, but I was healed. Like that legitimately, like my physical ailment through her spiritual walking me through these things. Like there was nothing else that I did. I didn't take any medication. I didn't do anything else to heal this ailment. And it was gone. Like with it took a while. It took weeks, you know, it might have been like a month or something like that. But eventually, like all cured, all good, all wonderful. So definitely, you know, I love bringing these stories up, and I love having guests like y'all up on here, because there's maybe a lot of people who are in our community who's never heard of anything like this, you know, somatic healing, Reiki healing, you know, like what are these words? Like what is this? You know, what is this magic? But it all has its place, and it all has its time. And you know, what a beautiful like community that we are here and being a part of. And I gotta give a huge shout out real quick to my BFF is in the chat right now, Michelle DiNicola. This girl, I've known her since birth, y'all. Like our mothers like knew each other when we were in the womb and things like that. And she was my first friend that became a Hexican, like legit, like staked and everything. So she is a staked Hexican. She is a wonderful human, and I know she knows a lot about these different healing techniques and things like that, because she's herself has had to deal with a lot of trauma growing up. So it's been really awesome to just like have close friends like this in my life, that we get to continue to, you know, grow together and heal together and be together through all this. So before we go, let you all kind of shill your things, yourselves, your spaces, whatever it is you want to say. I'm going to give each of you like a little bit. So Nate, go ahead. You go first.
All right. So you can find me on Twitter at Entombed Spirit. I have my own YouTube channel. It's The Mint Factory. Just talk about PulseChain projects mainly, and Hex in general, and some of the relevant crypto hypes that occur. Other than that, that's pretty much where you're going to be able to connect and talk to me, or see what's going on with me. And then like I'd leave some following statements for people. I would like people to take this in and say to themselves, I am strong enough to overcome any challenge that comes my way. I am in control of my thoughts and emotions. I deserve to be happy and fulfilled. I am capable of achieving my goals and dreams. I am worthy of love and respect, including self-love and self-respect. I am not defined by my past, but I can learn from it and grow. I am resilient and can bounce back from any setback. I am deserving of support and help when I need it. And I choose to focus on the positivity and let go of the negativity.
Yay! I love it. Love it. When my children were young, I would have them write a full page of I ams. And I'm like, and they better be positive.
What an awesome mom. Oh, my goodness. All right, Auntie Sandra, we're going to hang out and do some of that.
Here we are. I wanted to make a point about what I said about the nervous system in terms of the two main branches. Most of us are in the activated realm where we're not feeling so safe. And so it's a lot of work, and it takes some time, and it really takes conscious effort to embody these techniques. But the beauty is that when you get back down in that safe zone, just like the story that you told us, Dave, that's where the body heals itself. Mm-hmm. It's really worth it. It's amazing the things that go away. And the body, you know, there's a term called homeostasis. It's like once our nervous system understands that it's safe and it heads towards homeostasis and balance, all these little things come back into balance too, and weird, reoccurring, inappropriate responses just go away. Mm-hmm. So it's worth it. It's worth reaching out and having someone work. And really, it's all about connection. We have a biological imperative to connect. So we've all been isolated. We've all been traumatized. We're all really nervous right now. So it's great to be here and to be connecting with everybody. And really, the bottom line is feeling joy. We're here to feel joy and be of service. We got this. We got this. Thank you, Richard Hart. Thank you, SJ. Thank you, Hex community. And thank my son for turning me on to this whole thing, because I would have never been involved.
Yeah, that's super
Thank
cool.
you.
Super cool. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and bring y'all down real quick and then just chill my stuff for a minute. So thank you both for coming. Thank you so much for taking your time out. And y'all just check them out. I linked I think Sandra's website is in the description, and Nate, I just linked your YouTube in the comments. So y'all are wonderful. Have a good rest of your day.
You're awesome, SJ.
See you
Thank
later.
you.
Thank you. All right, everyone. So thank you so much for tuning in. I really felt like it was important to do this before PulseChain launched because, sorry, I only have notifications turned on for Richard right now. And I just heard, he says, like, hold on, I'm going to read this tweet from Richard. It says, like, if you think I try my hardest to make the world a better place, retweet if you have hope for the future. How beautiful. What a beautiful way to end this stream, y'all. So go retweet Richard's tweet right now, because we all have hope for the future for sure. And PulseChain tour, I gotta shill it, y'all. Coming to a city near you. We are going all over the United States. The first stop is in Dublin, California. If you are anywhere in the Northern California area, please come hang out. It's gonna be really great. I am really looking forward to seeing RG kind of do his thing. I got to watch him do this presentation on the cruise ship when we went to the Bahamas just recently. And it is really a wonderful presentation. Whether you are brand new to crypto or you've been in this since the beginning, there is something for everyone. You're going to be able to make connections. You are going to be able to understand crypto a little bit better and really get to what the heart of DeFi is and the heart of this Richard Hart ecosystem. Pun totally intended. So yes, thank you for being here. I'm gonna say hi real quick to a little latecomer here. Hex Tax B, what's up? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in, and follow this man's advice here. He knows what he's talking about. Like, retweet, and thank you to everyone on the replay for watching this. Again, if you have any questions about any of the healing techniques that we talked about today, or if you want more information, feel free to send me a message, comment on this video. I check the comments for sure. DM me. I'm a wild SJ all over the place. So find me, find yourselves, make sure you are centered and grounded, and take care, everyone. Much love to you. Have a good rest of your day.